Um, we're talking like basic bare bones like TTRPG. A couple people asked me to share the link, which I'm excited about. So hopefully there's a couple people watching and checking us out. So the first thing I want to talk about in regards to TTRPG is going to be literally the core concept of what it is to play a tabletop RPG. Now, what I mean by that, and you three can definitely go more in depth with it, I'm just going to do kind of a broad thing. So basically, what it is it's collaborative storytelling between everybody at the table. Yes, your storyteller, DM, whatever you refer to as the main person that is the equivalent of like your god in a sense.
Depends on whether
Who,
or not I'm happy with them at the time or not. Depends on what I call
right.
them.
But yeah, so you have that
Realistically,
particular individual that starts your story that kind of gets it going a little bit, and they might use the player's history and things like that. That's all varied depending on the storytell. But the basic thing is that person's there. He starts it, and everybody kind of throws in and gets to play a character in the world. And you all together, one way or another, tell a story. All
I
right,
think
gents.
I think one of the first places you really have to start with is finding a group of compatible players. If you're starting from scratch, like starting your own tabletop game or group, you're going to have some trial and error. You guys are going to have to feel each other out, but it's important to find people that match what your desires in gameplay are, right? That's one of the reasons why Ryan, James, and I have been gaming for a lot longer than I'm going to say out loud.
yeah.
That way Ryan doesn't feel old. Um,
Y'all still got color in your hair. I'm jealous.
yeah, Dilsey, your stuff. You went from black to salt. You went from pepper to salt real fast.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, so it's important to find like compatible playstyles, and we definitely had some times where we were like there was some tension at the table, not like outright, but you got to figure out everybody's playstyle. You got to kind of figure out how you want the game to run, and you got to get along. So I mean, that's the first thing is definitely, I'm not saying don't play with strangers, but you want to kind of get a feel for a table before you hop right in.
So for mine, again, we're talking bare bones, right? We're not going to be talking dice or anything like that because everybody knows you need dice, paper, and a pencil to play any tabletop RPG. I'm actually going to approach it with mindset. Now, for people, in my experience, that have no idea like what a tabletop RPG is or what a game of D&D looks like, they're generally very hesitant to just jump into the fray. And so I'm going to start off with a mindset so you know what you're walking into, hopefully to alleviate some of that anxiety and that stress when you're approaching a table. Now, I do agree with every point Travis just made. Finding a compatible table is very important, but that isn't where I would start. I'm actually going to address what Eric opened up on. It's what you need to think about when you're at the table that will make it fun for you. You can't think of your DM, ST individual as like a god, because that makes them adversarial. They are not your adversary. They are a narrator. All they do is tell you what happens in the world. You're the only one that actually takes actions. The DM does not. And so that's your first thing that you need to get into your head, is that the DM is not some all-powerful entity, even though technically he is, and they could do whatever they wanted to with the setting at any given time. Their job isn't to do that. Their job is to narrate reaction. Additionally, unless you're playing one-on-one, you need to realize that you are entering a game where you are one of the main characters, not the main character. Your character's backstory, while important, is a tool for the DM, not really something that you throw at the table in order to get your way. Now it kind of falls more into the etiquette, but I think that you realizing you're stepping in to be part of a team, and it's not the team versus the DM per se, is a great place to start at a fundamental level for tabletop RPGs.